I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, maybe it's a month or so ago, I guess as I started class, that our teacher was inviting us, felt like a challenge to me, so I took it on, to start thinking about embracing that I am God, that we are divine, and being able to say, I am God. So I've been working with that for a few weeks. And you know, in the beginning it felt odd to say those words because I'm used to saying what I say here is that I'm a unique divine expression. A unique divine expression which is different than saying, I am God. That's, for me, was on the road to saying, I am God. And so I was uncomfortable breaking away from my usual affirmation and getting to, I am God, and trying to live with that and be in that. But I think that's what that reading was alluding to, that God beingness, that Jesus was that eternal being, and we are too. That we are too. And that because we come from human birth, from the pair of opposites, and that's what we're used to, we get caught in the physical beingness of ourselves. When we are primarily divine, we are primarily God in physical form, the other way around. What I'm learning in this class that I'm in is that our consciousness is so much more than this body. It cannot be contained by this body. Because all of us know when you walk into a room or someone else walks in the room that you can feel their energy. You feel their energy, and that's their consciousness preceding them, preceding the physical form. And so I've been studying, not just in class, not just in my reading, but throughout the day, reminding myself that I am this divine being. And it's coming up a lot. So I feel like I'm studying all the time. All the time. Because it's interesting how often that phrase is coming up for me, that I am God. I am God. And maybe there's a part of me that is reminding me of that now that I seem to be ready to make that leap. And it is a leap. At least it is for me. You might be already there. I'm not. I'm not. I am very comfortable with saying I'm a unique expression of the divine. I am God, not so much. But it's getting better. It's changing for me. So in the beginning, it was really just an affirmation. I am God. I am God. I'm God. I'm God. I am God. I am God. I am God. Jeez. I am God. And sitting with that, sitting in it. Because it's easy for us to sit in our humanity, isn't it? Because that's where we live and move and have our being most of the time. That's where our human consciousness keeps us, our consciousness about our physical state. Not our human consciousness. Consciousness just is and is divine and is out there and is all over. There's no place where there is not consciousness, so there is not any place that is not God. And in another book I'm reading, which I just happen to be reading, it's not part of the assigned thing, but all things are kind of coming together for me. Another book I'm reading called The Kybalion is talking about how every single thing has a consciousness. Every rock, every grain of sand, every animal, and that each animal, every rock, has a different consciousness, or a rock has a different consciousness than you do. We vibrate at different frequencies. So it's interesting moving through the world and looking at things and realizing they have a consciousness. So a rock's just not a rock anymore. A grain of sand's not just a grain of sand. That cricket in my living room that I want to find and go has consciousness. All of you probably know your pets have consciousness, don't they? Yeah. Your dog, your cat, your lizard, your snake, whatever you have at home, I don't know. All of it has consciousness. The trees have consciousness. That stained glass window came from something. It wasn't always that window. It has a consciousness. The chair you're sitting in has a consciousness because it is made up of something that came from this earth. Everything has a consciousness. And so it's made me move through the world differently when I'm paying attention. But I'm paying attention more often because that I am God is coming up often. And so it's morphed from just an affirmation now into what was the second step? So the second step was really like kind of like going from speaking to singing, where it felt like it had some life and some movement. Because song for me is very much a moving, living, breathing thing. You take in breath, you sing a note, you exhale, then there's a rest, and so it's a moving thing. And so that affirmation became something a little different for me, where it was just something that kind of floated around me throughout the day, and I could be doing something, and all of a sudden it would come up in my conscious mind, I am God. And I'd be sitting in front of my computer and something would say, I am God. And I'd smile for a bit. And I'd say, oh, okay. I'm kind of feeling this a little bit. I am God. None of which I'm saying out loud. Because before we can say it out loud, we've got to get comfortable with it inside of us. And so I probably for about the second week then, it just kept coming up. And I was surprised that it was coming up without me bringing it up. And so I started to think in that second week or so that perhaps there was a part of me that always knew that always knew it. Deep down, some part of me knows that. And it's reminding my conscious mind about it. I remember decades ago when I was in therapy and we were talking about childhood trauma, and there were some things I didn't remember right away until I was in therapy, and then my subconscious knew that I was in a safe place and that I could handle something that I did not previously remember. It was a suppressed memory. And so during that particular therapy session, something that happened to me as a child came into my conscious mind, and I spoke it aloud because I was comfortable with it. And it knew I was safe and could handle the information at that time. I believe there's something else within me now that knows that I am ready to handle that level of knowingness about myself. About myself. But I had to push the envelope to get there. I had to have a need and a want, a willingness to be in that space. And I understand that some of you may not be ready. I wasn't always ready, and there are some moments during the day where I'm not ready for I am God. This morning when I woke up, I was not ready for I am God. So I was physically tired. It's been a busy, busy, busy week. really busy week, and I stayed up a couple of nights really late, and I am not a go-to-bed late girl. I can't handle it. I'm always up at like 5 a.m., always. I was born at 5:15 a.m., and that has not stopped. That has not stopped since the day I took my first breath. And so I need to go to bed before 10 o'clock, usually between 9 and 9:30. All this is shutting down unless I'm forcing myself to stay up and work and do something. And I am forcing myself, and I realize it the whole time when I'm in a late night working session, I know I'm pushing the envelope, and I know I'm going to pay for it in a day or two. So I woke up this morning, I wasn't ready for all this, I wasn't. But I knew that we were going to have rehearsal for the ensemble before service. I knew that we were going to come in early and we were going to have some food ready and to be here at 8:30 for folk, be here before 8:30 for folks. So that was going to happen. And then we'd have rehearsal. And then I knew I was singing. And so I had to be ready to do those 2 songs. And I was going to do meditation, but Deborah saved me and she said, "Oh, I'll do that for you." And I said, "Yes, thank you very much. My angel, thank you." Which was a good thing because then we realized we were missing a page of the sheet music for the second song that I'm singing, and I had to go find that. And so none of that was in my consciousness this morning. I just wanted to roll over and pull the covers over my head. And then there's a talk, and now we're doing a rehearsal afterwards, and then Molly and I are going to stay later and work on our podcast again. So all of that, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't have that. My physical body wasn't ready for that. And I did flip that switch and say, okay, I have more than that within me. I am more than that. I am more than my tired body. And I don't want to drag myself through this day tired. And when I'm tired, I ain't happy. And I'm hard to deal with. Well, that's a whole nother talk, and you all don't have that much time. I don't think I want to let that cat out of the bag. So, no, Fred. No. You can't ask Quentin about that. Yeah, when I get tired, I'm just like, ooh, Lordy. Some of you have been board members for a while. Yeah, you've seen that. Oh, God, ouch. Yes. So I know that, so I had to work on that, but my physical body was just tired. But I also knew, because I say it here often enough, and I had been saying it for the last couple of weeks, that I am God. So I thought, okay, let's do this God beingness thing. Because I say it works, and we always say it works. We're always saying that divine wisdom is at work. Right? Don't we say that at the end of every service? And yet, do we use it throughout our day? Because if you're not, you're just blowing smoke. You're just blowing smoke. It's not enough just to talk about it. Unity, metaphysics, is about using our beliefs every single day to live better and to have a greater, more full experience of God and as God. As God. And so as I went through my morning routine, I got on the treadmill as usual because I was thinking, I ain't working out today. That ain't happening. Because I don't have workout energy and stretch energy and then all this energy to be in here and do this. I don't. I got on the treadmill anyway. And I started listening to music that opens up my mind and makes me feel better. And I did that for 30 minutes. And I did start feeling a little better on the treadmill. My tired body woke up. And so I got through the rest of my morning preparation time and got in the car. And I'm still working with I Am God, and I'm saying it to myself. And so I switched the music that I was listening to, and this time I'm listening to Prince from the Purple Rain album. And there's a song on there which I love, Baby I'm a Star. And I listened to that. And instead of singing I Am a Star, I sang I Am God. And I listened to that song 4 times between my house and that parking lot. And kept singing it and singing it and singing it. I am God, I am God, I am God. I am God, I am God, I am God. All the people who were driving next to me, I'm sure they all dialed 911 because they knew that this lady was crazy. But I had to do that because I needed to be able to feel different. I needed to be different today than when I first woke up and wanted to pull those covers back over my head. This is real stuff. And all the things that we say in here, all the prayers that we do, all the things that we read are meant to inspire you to live differently and to pick it up in the days when you're not feeling your divine self, to be able to flip that switch and remember that you are divine and then live as if you are divine. And so I remember in days when I'm not feeling like it, that because I am divine, I have limitless energy. And it doesn't matter how much sleep I've had. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if everything during the week went like I wanted it to. Never does anyway. But I am still God. I am still God. And that means, just like I said in the opening prayer, that everything that comes down your path, you have the energy, the fortitude, the strength, the power, the enthusiasm, the passion, everything that you need to handle that stuff. There is no little old me or little young me, for those of you who are of a certain age. You got to use this stuff that we say, these prayers that we say. And when you find something that resonates with you, write that down and repeat it until you feel it in your bones. I don't care what it sounds like, and I don't care what you have to do in order to help you feel it. When you feel it, you are it, and you know it. And then you live as it. But you got to feel it. Music makes me feel it. But I got to find the right song. So that classical music I was listening to on the treadmill wasn't helping me in the car. And I kept saying to Prince, God rest his soul, he might be in the room, because I have been channeling him all morning. I kept saying, Prince, take me to church, baby, let's go, sing to me. And I kept saying, I am God, I am God, I am God. I am God. Oh my God, I am God. If you're just reading and intellectualizing, you are missing the point. You are missing the point. And all you're going to have is a head full of words, which you could spout out to people and be quite impressive if you would like to. Because I know plenty of people who can spout some stuff. Scripture, portions from books, excerpts of chapters. They know what verse, they know what Mark, James, John, not you, Mark. Oh, might be you, Mark. He is very wise. Now that I've heard you speak, you might have to do a Sunday talk. I don't know. Yeah.
Careful what you ask.
I know people who can spout chapter and verse, and yet they don't use it. I can look at their life and tell they're not using it. But they're very impressive with their words. We can all be impressive with something, but if you're not living it, if you're not embodying that, it doesn't matter. It's all just stuff. It's all just hot air at the end of the day. But what can you embody? So if you can't say, I am God, find something else to say. Get close to it. Get close to it. You can use, I'm an individual, what do I say? I'm a unique expression of the divine. If that makes you feel better, say that. But use it as a stepping stone to I am God.
This very existence just comes through us, doesn't it?
Yes. Your consciousness creates everything in your life. So think, if there's something you don't like what's going on, you gotta change your consciousness about it. Doesn't matter what circumstances, doesn't matter who the people are who are either making you feel good or not good. That's all just smoke too, because the only thing you can control is you. The only thing you get to control is you. We've all tried to control other people. We've all tried to get them to change. We've all tried to fix the circumstances. And sometimes we can fix them, and sometimes we can't. Because life just happens and rolls up on us and sometimes tries to roll over us. And some days in life we get rolled over. I've been rolled over, but you can get up. You can get up and affirm your divine beingness. Shake it off in whatever way helps you to shake it off and start affirming and feeling whatever it is that you need to affirm to remind yourself of what you are. In so many faith traditions, we get stuck on the crucifixion. And Jesus dying to save our sins. Yes, it's important. But what is so much more important for us to focus on is that resurrection, the getting up, the rising. The rising. He only went through all that so he could rise. So he could teach you the rising. So he could teach me the rising. That was the only reason for the death. Because there had to be a rising. And he wanted you to know, wanted me to know, wanted all of us to know what we're made of. And how to walk the walk. He didn't do all that so we could say, hey, look at me. Look at me, people. I'm Jesus. I died. I rose from the dead. I'm so impressive. Worship me. It's all about me. It's all about me. He was just showing you the way. And through his resurrection, handed us the baton so we could also live like that. So if you believe he handed the baton back, you're going to take it or you're going to let it drop on the ground? It's all very simple. As Deborah read, we think it's complex. We get into our problems. We get into our life. And we think this is too much stuff. I can't do this. This is bigger than me. Nothing is bigger than you. Because you are divine, infinite consciousness. Nothing is bigger than you. Not the diagnosis, not the circumstances, not the job, not somebody else who you think has something more than you do. We are all equal in that we are unlimited, good, consciousness, wisdom, life, power, energy, All of us, we're just energy vibrating around. And our bodies help us move through life and do the human thing, but as our divine selves. This is just a vessel. Your bodies are just vessels. To give what little, to hold what little bit of consciousness it can hold itself, but it still cannot hold all of you because you are so much more than that body. Your consciousness is far more than your brain. The brain doesn't hold the consciousness. So I am God. I am God. Now I'm feeling that. I'm making it work in my life. I made it work today. And the day's not over. It's not even noon. I still got stuff to do. We all still have stuff to do today. But how are you going to show up? Are you going to whine and complain because you're tired, you don't have enough, or something didn't go right, or somebody made you mad, or some reason you're impatient, and the world's just not the way the world ought to be? None of it matters. You are divine. You are divine. You are divine. You are divine. You are God. Eternal, infinite consciousness. And the body, your experience follows your consciousness. It doesn't know anything else. Your consciousness is the boss of you. The I am God now that I affirm is now feeling within me. And I'm thinking maybe at some point it'll settle into my bones so that I won't have to say it to remind myself that something's going to happen in my beingness, and I will feel it, I will walk it, I will speak it, I will hold it, it'll be me. And when you all start holding it, it'll be you too. You'll feel it. Other people will feel it. And they'll be wondering, gee, did you get your hair cut? Or did you get some highlights? Or, I don't know, you doing your makeup different? What's going on with you? But you'll know. You'll know in your bones, I am God. That's the difference. Now you'll know that you shifted. You'll know that you shifted. Others will just feel your presence, experience you differently. You won't have to remind yourself because you will be it. You're already it in pure potentiality. You are that thing, but you're not harnessing it. You're not harnessing it. I don't always harness it. I got work to do. We all have work to do to embrace it. To embrace it. I am God. I am God. I am God. I am God. Let's take this in a meditation. So as we get quiet, I want you to say that to yourself. I am God. I know I see the faces starting already. If you can't say I am God, say something else. I'm a unique expression of the divine. I am love. I am pure energy. I am divine wisdom. I am compassion. I am beauty. I am perfect health. Whatever works for you, say that. I want you to say it over and over and over it. Just keep repeating it in your mind. Keep repeating it. Maybe it becomes a chant in your mind. Maybe you give it a melody. Maybe you see it as color, light. Maybe you feel it as a vibration. Maybe you see the words just drifting by in your mind over and over again on a steady reel. I am love, I am love, I am love. I am goodness. I am that I am. I am whole, perfect, and complete. No matter what you need to say, just say that. Start there. Say whatever's comfortable. And now I want you to push the envelope just a little bit. And be a little bit more daring in your affirmation. Maybe you have a conversation within you. Am I God? I could be God. What if I'm really God? I think I might be God. I think I could be God. I think I could show up as God. Maybe I'm God. Yes, I could be God. I think I'll be God today. I think I'll be God for the next hour. Yes, I am God. Each and every being is God. And we are one life, one love, one breath, one energy. Just let yourself feel it. At whatever level you can accept it. It doesn't matter what's happened before this moment. Doesn't matter how you've lived. Doesn't matter the number of transgressions you think you've made. Doesn't matter how someone else has judged you. The circumstances don't matter. Your bank account doesn't matter. Your age doesn't matter. The size you wear doesn't matter. The circumstances of your birth don't matter. The number of people who have broken your heart don't matter. The state of your physical health doesn't matter. Your background, your ethnicity, your race. Childhood trauma doesn't matter. None of that defines what you are. You are pure light and goodness. You are pure love. You are wisdom, strength, power. You are imagination. You are love. You are God. Hold it, breathe into it. Repeat your affirmation in your heart of hearts. If you need to, say it out loud. Whisper it if you need to. See it written in the heavens if you need to. Just breathe into it. Relax. Have a knowingness of the very words you're repeating in your heart of hearts right now. Feel it. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel that. Let's take a deep breath in. Breathe it in. Exhale. With your next breath, repeat that affirmation in your heart of hearts. Repeat it, breathe it in, exhale it. One more time, breathe it in. Hold it at the top. Say that affirmation, breathe it out. When you're ready, open your eyes and return to the room. Say that affirmation one more time. And so it is, and so it shall be.